Hello, everyone. Welcome back. How is it going, guys? Let's go. Show you something funny. Let me open also Deep Dom. 1 second. Now I check the chat. Hello, everyone. Yes, now I share. 1 second. Here we go. Prepare the bucket. Prepare the bucket. Guys, I have so many news. So many news. We have, I think, 10 people working at this project. I hope we will manage to do everything before the summer. There is a lot of work to do. Okay, we are here. Share screen. Tell me if you can see. Let's go here. This was the only position that I tried. Tried this switch here. When the market switched, closing this gap. Really good. And then I got wicked out before the move. I was stopping profit, so it only took commission. But it was an amazing long, and I will explain you why I took it based on also on the options. As of now, we have the IVB low here, and the IVB top here. So considering that the data is not so good for US, it's possible that today we go in a negative regime. So we collapse down. Let's see it. And let's also put on the 40 range the Nasdaq effort. I saw something that Fred is preparing for the lesson of the option flow, for the next 2 lessons of the option flow, guys. Trust me. It's really a steal. A steal. Okay, so we have the Nasdaq F40 area on the top. It's not yet broken. If the IVB broke here, we have a short session. I also would like to see where is the protection level. It would be really nice to see on the 30 minutes. Okay, they broke. The protection level is 29,000 round number. Let's give it a little bit of flexibility because it's a super important level, the 29,000. So let's put from 29,005 to the 29,095. Be 90. Okay. Let's keep this room. Let's see if the price is reloading. Going to the Nasdaq effort. Let me prepare. Always $1,000 of risk. Let's see the interaction. Wow, it's the auction today. It's pretty good. The auction today is pretty good. I see some speed from the players. As always, guys, I repeat in every live. This is a live market commentary. It's for education purpose. Okay, it's not financial advice. And I repeat every live because I see people just without any knowledge executing trade just to change their life with 2 or 3 positions. Please understand that this is an educational product, okay? And we only spend 2 sessions per week out of 5. So you need to understand how to manage the strategy and the risk for yourself. They are trying to push the market higher. I think we will reach the Nasdaq effort area. I can see the sellers getting aggressive here, 10% of delta, while the buyers try to protect on the way up. We didn't touch the Nasdaq effort. Risk management is why I joined. Well, half of it. Guys, I'm making a YouTube video about risk management. It's already prepared. I think it will come out today or tomorrow. Sorry, I was getting distracted to explain, but we have an area. Let's see if they reject good from it. I don't like when we have two Nasdaq efforts stacked, so I will wait for them to either break this accumulation area and give me a confirmation that they want to go lower, or engaging the top area that is the most interesting one. Let's see. This one probably will fail. Yeah, it failed. And the reason is that when you have two stacked, okay, you have a Nasdaq effort area here, but you have one above, usually they go to test the extreme one. I explained this multiple times. Also the interaction of the auction. Okay, now they fill the up one. Let's see if they switch I cover above the top. See if we can get a good filling level. Still buyers super aggressive. I want to see from the candle profile a flip of the auction. Little bit of aggression from the sellers. And as of now, you see 21% sellers, but the candle closed buy. This is a complete disaster for the pressure of the sellers as of now. Now the buyers are starting to get absorbed, okay? Now they are starting to get absorbed. Let me stay concentrated. 17%. Okay, they are flipping the auction. I think I will enter when I see an aggression from the sellers. They are trying with this candle to do their best. Okay. Okay, let's see if we can get directional here. We have this area here that is not the best to have this area in front because this can reject price to go higher, but we will take multiple shot probably in this Nasdaq effort area if it fail. I will try to go for a 1 to 3 also today, even if the area is not rejecting properly. As you can see, they are consolidating around it, okay? They are not doing what I expect because a Nasdaq effort area, when the day is directional, they should push. Okay, so what we will do, we will manage the position in a really smart way. We will wait them to get aggressive and then put stop loss at zero risk, okay? Seller super aggressive. Seller super aggressive here. We are stop loss in profit. Sorry, stop loss at zero. Let me take some water. Buyers getting aggressive again to rebalance. It's a smart idea 1 to 2 with this choppiness. It's a smart idea. Now, if we break down below and if the sellers get aggressive again, I will start trailing the position because I don't want the buyers taking back control. So I will trail above the high for a $500 and then I will trail below the low, okay? So they took back. This one ran a total of 1 to 2. Let's see if they reject again. We take another position. 9,500 and done. In one position. Good job, Jordan. So they are chopping out in this area. As you can see, they are coming back. So it's good that we put the stop loss in profit. Otherwise, they would have taken the break even. I still think the sellers have the upper end on this movement. Let's see how this one goes. Waiting for some This one could become another Nasdaq effort area. This aggression of the sellers, I see that it's really sustained. So it's possible that all this area become a Nasdaq effort area. I get a red marker on the microphone, but here it works. Can you hear me properly, guys? Okay. Okay, perfect. So as you can see, they are dancing in the Nasdaq effort area. Still valid. The protection level is really far. We could also try to take a full take profit, but I think they will want to exit from this amazing cluster here. So if we get another Nasdaq effort area anywhere here, I will engage again because I like what I see. I like also this absorption of the buyers at the top. It's really beautiful. Let me clean the candle stats and just keep the price now because I want to see just the Nasdaq effort area. Okay, as you can see, there is a lot of protection of the buyers on this level. Let me mark the levels that we had. But we have a lot of room of aggression on the downside till the 29,000. So we could try for a 5 figures day on the small account. It will be amazing. Let's see if we get another Nasdaq effort area. Buyers are really strong, trying to reject everything. We did good not re-engaging here, guys. Smart choice. We did good. So this is something that I learned all over the years now. When you have a Nasdaq effort area, the best setups are the one that engage the area and go out of it, okay? When you engage and stay inside, okay, and come back inside, it's an accumulation, okay? I still think the sellers can take the upper hand because we broke IVB lower. Let's see if we have another confirmation of the sellers that they want to go. In the meantime, I will open the chat. From the classic, that is the one that Freddy showed you last time, and also the bias also it's coherent. Okay, pressure on the downside. Now, what you can see in these cases, it's also that they come back to revisit levels above, okay, to then get aggressive on the downside. If we take all the action here, we should be able to find the AAA. Let's see what is the AAA. The AAA, it's on the downside this, and then we have two clusters. The first cluster is this one, and the second cluster is this one. So we want to see a Nasdaq effort printing here. If we see a Nasdaq effort printing here, it's an opportunity to engage. If we see the market just going up, we will not engage counter trend. Why counter trend? Because the market is down on the bias, but they are rejecting, as you can see. Okay, they rejected the profit release, and it's really good that we didn't give to the market even 1 cent here. We only stole $340 from the market. So we will wait for the right opportunity to engage and to get back in the main direction that it's possible from the IVB today. If it's not another multiple breakout day, but I hope not, it's possible that it's on the downside. Okay. Then we can use also the order track for execution. As of now, the buyers completely control the auction. You can see from the regression of the Nasdaq effort, and you can see because the area that I marked for you was the last point of aggression of the buyers. We don't have any confirmation of the buyers, of the sellers getting aggressive here. Still buyers control. If they need to break the 29,300 to take control, but I don't think they will do it today. Okay, I don't think. The reason why I don't think they will do it today is because I see that the market is still negative on the gamma side. Okay, so they will need to break this level to do it. They will need to break all this cluster of levels. Okay, and this is where the friction to go up is higher. So let's see if they can take control of this area. We are in the mid-range of the IVB. And now the risk to reward is starting to get higher because also if we get a Nasdaq effort here to go down, we have a huge risk to reward to go to the protection level. Let's see. This aggression seems like an aggression that can print a Nasdaq effort. Let me also activate the speed of tape. That is the velocity of the market. And it's really nice because you can see which side is trying to take control. As you can see, guys, from the speed of tape chat, which one were the last participants that did aggression and speed, buyers or sellers? Why did you not engage the previous area? I explained, because I don't like to take areas when it comes to test 2 or 3 times again. It's the more you test, the less probability you have. Okay, William. So if you have a Nasdaq effort area that already got consumed, and consumed, I mean the price reached it and reacted, the second time it's lower. The third time it's even lower, okay? It's like the concept of supply and demand, okay? The more you are stationary inside the area, the less the probability. Okay, the sellers are starting to get control from the mid-range of the IVB, this rejection area. You can see also from the options, it's strongly rejecting the market, but we don't have still the Nasdaq effort. Oh, now we have, okay. So here, I will wait for the market to give me a confirmation of reaction so I can mark the area. Let's mark all the area. Still didn't touch. Okay. And I can see also the delta aggression. So I can see if they are doing any absorption on the area. Buyers trying to push aggressively, getting absorbed. Buyers aggressive on the area there. Okay, they are getting in the area. Let's see if we get an absorption. For absorption, I want to see the buyers getting aggressive. Now, you see why this one saved you. How many of you without the training would have taken a blind short here? Put a limit, stop loss above, okay? This is important. This is why, okay, it's really important to understand the auction. Okay, now they are going back here. I think that the buyers will try to flip. Now they are exactly in the zero gamma level. Let me show for you this one. Okay, this one is the zero gamma level, and the zero gamma level is where the forces are balanced. Okay, it's like when you are in fair value, so you start to dance with it, and now they are deciding if buyers will take back control of the auction or if sellers will continue the move. So we need to wait, be patient on this, and wait if we have our opportunity to short again. As of now, we only took a stop loss in profit. Wait patiently. Save me a stop loss in senior knowledge. Thank you. Why are you using ES for Nasdaq for zero, not Nasdaq? Because Nasdaq, guys, it's really dirty for zero gamma. You never use Nasdaq to identify the zero gamma. When do you stop looking for shorts? Once you were back in the mid-range of the IVP, I see this pattern a lot. That's the reason I use order flow, okay? I use order flow, not a separate entity, okay? And this is the difference between a quant trader and a discretionary trader, okay? The quant trader only watch rules, okay? So only say, okay, you broke the IVP, Nasdaq effort, I engage. The discretionary trader use the reasoning, okay? So if I have an area here, but the candle it's aggression up, aggression up, aggression up, if I execute sell here, I will gift money to the market, okay? I only want high probability area. This one, it's another sell area, okay? We need to see if the sellers step in, okay? Look at this area. You see the reaction is different. The reaction is really different. Now, we are packed in another area here, and the filter that I use usually, these guys, I think this, we never went enough around this. When you are in the mid-range of the IVB, to understand who takes control, you wait for the cage to be cleared. Okay, which one is the cage? Control of the buyers, control of the sellers. Once one side wins, you are in the highest probability. You see, they are stacking Nasdaq effort. Okay, I know it's the POC of the day, and it's also the zero gamma. This is the battle point. This is the battle point. Here it's where if sellers want to take short, they take from here. Okay, if sellers are not interested in engaging, we go up and we continue up. Super important, this filter. Let's see how this one goes. I see sellers starting to protect. This one is the last point of aggression of the buyers. They are still dancing on the gamma level. They didn't clean the zero gamma level, Jack. They didn't clean the zero gamma level. So the sellers are engaging. Sellers are engaging here. I don't like to use indicators on the absorption, William. I want to see how much is the size of the candle. Putting an arrow there, okay? Putting an arrow there is too simplistic for me, you know? I don't like it. Okay, the sellers are trying. Sellers are really trying to get aggressive on the short side. If they break this top, probably they go up. Yes, of course, we can check the liquidity on Dipdom. A second. They have liquidity on the 29,080 and some of it on the 29,145, the majority. Guys, don't watch the colors because it's staging. Antonio will release this on Friday. Okay, they are almost cracking this one. Let me see also the zero gamma. Okay, the zero gamma, the sellers respected it. So it's possible that once this level gets cleared, yeah, we will see domination from the sellers. Now, I want to see how they are engaging here. So we have a lot of sellers here. Probably this is the smartest level to re-engage, the 29,212, but we have also some activity here. Now, if they manage to clean the area, we will find a retracement interesting for this, okay? 29,080 here, they have a lot of liquidity. Let me check lower. Look at this resting liquidity on the 29,000 and 29,000 here. It's resting this liquidity from the beginning of the session. And above should be on the 330. 300 they already took. Pretty empty above. Yeah, I think the reading that we have of the market is really precise. Okay, they clean sellers control. We are back in the game. This one becomes our new range that got won by the sellers, and they expect a projection here to the protection level. Okay, so how can we engage this area? We can engage in multiple ways. Either we do the aggressive scalper, either we wait for the Nasdaq effort. Now, for the Nasdaq effort, we need to see a test. We could also use the candle stats. Okay, so aggression of the buyers 15% here, sellers control with absorption. I could start putting my aggression order here with a protection level above the area because I see that the sellers are engaging really aggressively here. Let's see what we do. The buyers have a 19% delta with a really low result. If they break this level, it's really bad for my entry because they squeeze the top, so I need to wait. Look at this knowledge, okay? You can understand when they are almost squeezing by reading the delta, okay? So I was expecting a drift up. Now, I think the bias is down, so how can I enter? I want to see buyers trying to engage and to get control. Okay, look, for example, this one, 30%, 31, 21. Okay, it's a lot of aggression of the buyers, but without a lot of results. Okay, so what comes to my mind will be the fact that we come back to test this Nasdaq effort area and we absorb. Now, for the absorption, you can use a lot of stuff. One that I like is the bar delta. Okay, and here we see that the last absorption that we had, it's this one, okay? This one is the absorption, so we could try to engage, okay, on the test of the absorption or on the flip of the auction, okay? We are going here, we are betting on the fact that the market is highly directional because we clean the area, and we were totally right. Look at this beauty. Didn't got filled on this one, but it's possible that they retrace. Let me check how much is it on the first risk to reward. First risk to reward, it's more than a 1 to 3. On the end risk to reward, it's a huge numbers. It's a 1 to 10. 1 to 10 almost. Okay, another Nasdaq effort area. We anticipated the creation of the Nasdaq effort. I keep the limit there because I think this is an amazing level to engage if they comes back. Little bit difficult to explain and execute with a perfectly timing, but yes, we were right. Also, if I kept the limit here, even if we will take one candle of drawdown, it would have been really good. Using IVB 15 seconds to short. Good job, Sergio. Now, any Nasdaq effort area for us, it's good to join the party because they clean. Also, it's important for me. Did you understood how you can avoid taking counter momentum position by just watching the cage and watching the first candle, the first box that they control? Jake, I do a spoiler for you. The order track and the candle framing are the same. They measure the value area. It's just different colors. It's exactly the same. They measure the value area. I don't use this reading, Nicolas. I just watch the order flow. Specifically on the intraday, I just watch the order flow. What a beauty, guys. On this one, I'm on field. Someone of you took it. This is running a 1 to 10. Took it. Good job, guys. It's running to the maximum liquidity level. Be careful here. I will cancel this one because it's too late to get filled on this one. This one probably will run for a 1 to 10. Probably you can take a 1 to 10 in the bank today. This one, it's a 10K, 5 figures day on the small account. If you want, I can also help you with the profit levels. So yeah, they will go here. Highest probability to the 29,030. Look how they lower the liquidity. They want to get more contract fill on the short side. They want to get more contract fill on the short side. Look at the aggression. Pointing new one, they took the maximum liquidity level. This one, it's a level where you can say, look, I'm happy, 29,030, but highest probability they squeeze and they go to the 29,000. We read it perfectly, guys. This was our entry. This one here. As you can see, first stop, okay? Now let's go on the heat map on the micro time frame that I show you how they do, okay? So now they have an attraction point, okay, on this level, on the 29,030. And then this is what I call the grill. The grill is when they have multiple levels of liquidity and they just get aggressive on them and they go down, okay? They have one level on the 29,025, 20, 15. On the above, they have the 29,055 and 60 that they just took both of them. And now they are reloading. Maybe I can still get in the position for one aggressive move to the 29,000. Let me see. Yes. Yes, I can get into the position. I don't like the fact that they have also an aggression on the upside. Like this area. Getting cleaned. Okay. It's a 1 to 2. It's a 1 to 2. Still valid. Let's see if we get filled. If they have a retracement. If they break this low aggressively, doesn't make sense. But they should take control here from the sellers. Stacked Nasdaq F area. Risk-free. Risk-free on this one. Let's see if they squeeze the low. Another Nasdaq area, Nasdaq F area, stop in profit. Yeah, it's nice the speed, guys. Today the speed of tape is pretty nice. Recently, specifically the Friday session and this week session are going with more speed, okay? That is pretty nice for scalpers. I still $1,000 here. I don't want to get chopped out in this range. Let's see if I can take a full take profit here on this one. Otherwise, we will be taken out at stop loss in profit. Let me cover here above. Be really dangerous to the high liquidity area that they can eat all the liquidity in a super aggressive way. And you can see compression before and then extreme aggression. So you can get slipped a little bit. So always try to protect your profit, the tick above, okay? So I entered super late, but I managed to make a $1,500. This is what I wanted to avoid, okay? And the full take profit for the long-term position is on the 29,005. They will reach soon, I think. Here they go. They are completing the test of the higher Nasdaq F area that I can join. Let me see how we are in the liquidity side. So can you see the wall, guys? Do you understand why it's super important? This is what they protect. Okay, this is what they protect. And now the heat map is giving you information about the reload. You see the buyers filling orders. Buyers are filling orders. Another aggression on the downside, and now they go for the final squeeze of the liquidity, okay? So This play here is to squeeze the low. Nasdaq, this one was another setup. Would have taken for a 1 to 4, another 1 to 4. And here is the final take profit of everything. Let's see if this one squeeze again. Beautiful directional day. What a sniper you took, Nicolas. Good job, guys. Guys, I could have made on the small account 5 figures today. I removed the limit too early. Okay, they are reloading, so this one goes stop loss in profit. Okay, because they made another reload here, the Nasdaq effort. Okay, so you are in profit also on this entry. Stop loss in profit, probably they will squeeze the low. But what they do is they compress, okay, and then they fill all the order really fast. So expect not a slow drift, but a full candle that takes the low here, fill. And then when we see either reload, for example, here we had a reload. I didn't have the heat map open, no? But can you see this level? This level is when they are not willing to wait anymore to get filled, okay? And they reload. So they place orders, okay, before, okay, to create intention, maybe to let the market go up and fill other sell orders, okay? 4K on FTMO and 2K TradeFi. Good job, guys. Can you show us the setting on candlestick? It's really simple. You have a template. Now I show you. Okay. Now I show you. So what they did here, they removed the liquidity, and also here they removed the liquidity. Now they are doing aggressive spoofing. Guys, my feedback on Rithmic, here I have Rithmic, is that Rithmic it's way slower. The XFeed never gave me any delay, specifically here. And Rithmic is giving me, I don't know if someone of you is experiencing this, but with Rithmic I see it's also a lot more data, but it's processing slower Rithmic. It's processing way slower. I can still take another short if I see another Nasdaq effort area. The day for me, it's finished like this from directional side. Directional side. As I explained to you, always give some tolerance, okay? But if I get another Nasdaq effort area, I could try to short this movement again to the 29,500. Let's see if we get something. Now, why I don't want to engage? Is it clear for everyone? Why I don't want to engage? Because now we have the same situation as before. We have buyers controlling the auction. Is this phase, okay? Is the compression phase. There is someone of you that was trying to short, okay, even when the market was retracing from the main direction and taking a lot of stop loss like this. This was, for example, one error when I was starting. So I had a directional for the day short, but I was engaging in the retracement to go back in the current direction. So I was engaging now, but now the buyers are in control. Okay. So as you can see, buy area here, and look at the reload that they are putting. Now they are filling really good sell orders here. Let me see. Another cluster buy. I want to see a Nasdaq effort that slice everything and join the party. Let's see if now we see a Nasdaq effort sell here. I see a lot of aggression, 13%, 20%. Here it goes. Here it goes. Now, what they need to do, guys? The sellers needs to show me that they have intent. So how can they show me that they have intent? They need to break the closest Nasdaq effort. So I can get out of the cage and I can go to my levels. If the buyers break, we wait. We don't have any confirmation that they want to take control. You see, now the sellers are trying to get a feel of the move. They are trying to break all this cluster. Alexei, if you burn the account on rotational days, the problem is not the strategy, the problem is the risk profile. Okay? If you burn the account in one session, the problem is never the strategy. Disconnected me? No, the live seems good. Okay, sellers to control. I want to be in. Okay, I want to be in this move. Let's see if we can take control and go till the next Nasdaq effort area, even to the final take profit. We can go to the, this is a little bit long term, but it's still 3,000. The buyers tried to take control, but they got broken on this side. So the sellers are trying to take control here. Let's see the interaction here. A lot of buy aggression, really a lot of buy aggression here. Seems that the buyers wants to take back control of the whole range. Sellers re-engaging. And buyers taking control again. Okay, this is when you get choppy. When you have one session, one Nasdaq effort on the top, one Nasdaq effort on the bottom, you can get chopped out. Okay, this is something that can happen. Let me reduce the risk because I don't like this position. The sellers failed the auction. See if we can get aggressive now here on the sellers from the Nasdaq effort, or if the buyers break, guys, they will continue up. Okay. The second confirmation that we could take as a seller is this top area here, but I doubt that we will arrive there. I doubt that we will arrive to that area. Okay, so they failed this one, Nasdaq effort here. The buyers reload, even if the sellers broke the first one. Now the first level that they have that can be interesting for us is this cluster. It's also a cluster of delta here and this Nasdaq effort area here. Okay. Here we go. Still no sellers control on this one. Okay, they are getting back inside. They rejected without even thinking twice on the area. I could take this re-entry and failed auction. I want to see if we have some buyers absorption at the top. Let me go on the delta bar. This is the elastic band strategy that I explained, no? I don't know how many of you remember. But here you can see at the top that you had a lot of aggression from the buyers and the buyers starting to get rejected here. Okay, on these two, you have buyers, okay, getting completely rejected and sellers taking control. Let's see if we can bring any position back to the 29,000. Or can you see this one? This filling level. Chat, can you see this filling level? So we have the heat map, we have the price. We could try to take a short position to go down here. I would like to see a good retracement before engaging, but the setup will be, I explain not from here, but I explain like this. The setup will be aggression on the downside, covering above the top to go all the way down to the protection level. So it's a full 1 to 3, another full 1 to 3. Okay. Nasdaq effort confirming the move. This is another sniper, guys. I need to get faster at managing the chat and executing. Okay, going in the cage. The buyers protect the movement. Chat, is it all good, the stream? Okay. Okay. I was just checking because I receive sometimes red color from the microphone, and I don't know if there is any problem related to it. Okay. Wow, 30 delta. This is an absorption. Most probably this one is an absorption. Delta bar. Yes. This is an absorption. Someone that is more aggressive could also try to jump in the middle of the move. See if we have beautiful. Also this one right, sellers taking control here. They want to break. And the target is really low because it's this one. The low of the previous range or the 29,000 round, and the only reload level it's on the 43, but yeah, the main one is visible that is on the 29,000. So most probably they will accelerate and squeeze. I was waiting for a test of the Nasdaq effort, but I didn't got. So the best sniper was this one. Let's see if they come back to the Nasdaq effort. Oh, look at the aggression, guys. This one, they slice. They slice the low. They don't retrace. And this is the beauty of the negative gamma. So to explain this to you also, I want to show this. Okay. Now, can you see that this is powerful, guys? This is really powerful. And I was thinking a lot to help the life of people that are starting with order flow, so that they don't have a lot of experience and they need a quantitative filter. No, one of these is William. Okay, one of these is William, and William asked Fabio, "How can we improve this, William? When this level, the middle, protect, you can have another amazing confirmation that the other side is in control, the sellers are in control. Oh, another Nasdaq effort. I will put directly the limit on this one. It's a 1 to 3.5. Andrea is going to make some software like this guy. Guys, I should not give you this kind of information, but we will put in deep charts, okay? So you don't have to pay anything else. And also, what I would like to make is the possibility to see the zero gamma directly in the platform in WAP, okay? I don't want that you need to pay anything else when you are in this community, okay? So I'm working with Luca to make it also, and that's it. We will have it. Sellers are struggling to make this move. Buyers are pretty aggressive here. And here it gets the aggression. Look at this aggression here, 29,045. Now they go to it this level of liquidity. Guys, today I could have made way more, but I'm still happy because the managing of the position and the live was amazing. Roman will not be happy about it. Guys, I really try to put yourself in my situation, okay? Try to manage the masterclass, manage a chat with 300 people, and always manage to be conservative when the session is choppy and understand, but understanding that people will get bothered because they want to have a lot of execution, but at the same time, give them value and develop education, okay? It's really not easy. Look at this beauty. We took another anyway. This one will get me unfilled, but the reading of today was incredible. I think, guys, that this reading of double market. What happened with Miha Hill? I cannot see the message, guys. Well, it's been over a month and a half. Where are your 5R, 10R, 23R? I haven't seen anything over 1R. This is not true. We made the 3 and 4R. We didn't make 10 or 23R that we made in the first quarter because the regime of the volatility it's really compressed. Okay, this one that we saw in the beginning of the session where I got unfilled to the 29,000 or 29,005, it's a 1 to 10. Okay, this is a 1 to 9. So it's not about the risk to reward, it's about the consistency. Okay, this is what I'm teaching here. I'm not teaching to flip the account with incredible risk to reward, and I've been super honest, okay, in in this case explaining that trading it's a profession, guys, where you have weeks positive, weeks of drawdown. Okay, and if the expectation of trading have ever been from anyone that you can flip your account and that you can have all the positive days, I'm really sorry about it, but I think I'm pretty sure that I've been always honest with everyone that follow me, guys. Did I ever say to anyone that this one is an easy profession and that you can make 10 20R every day? Did you ever saw something like this from my mouth? Because I've never done it, guys. Okay. If I could get every session 10 20R, wouldn't make sense for me risk to reward. I will risk $25,000 per position if I have the guarantee to close positive. Arsalan understood the point. No, in Q1, for those who follow Q1, you saw me how I get aggressive, okay, on my account building profit. So you saw me doing minus 10,000, minus 30,000, minus 40,000 in one session, minus 36, no, plus 36, minus 16. You saw the good and the bad, like on YouTube, no? But imagine you are a beginner, okay, and you want to have a protocol that makes you go from step 0 to 5, okay? You need a protocol that it's something that you can replicate, okay? The step 5 to 10 is something that you can go above. That's the reason I show everything. I show extreme scalping, I show conservative execution, and everything. What about Julian Petrulas and Umar Ashraf? What about? Can you repeat the question, Asgar? You want to say that they always close positive? No, I don't think, guys, that it will be like. I think that all the members of the community are giving value, because when you get feedback, no, and when you get and someone that is starting, for example, now, and it say, this is how a CME group top 0.5% trades, no, and you have the drawdown day, no, you understand that this is not something personal that they have with you. This is something that they think it's possible. So they think it's possible to make profit every single day. But think about this, okay? If you can have also with 1 hour or 2 hour the guarantee that you can make profit every single day, the guarantee, would it make sense risk management? So does it make sense that you risk 0.25% like I do? Better to risk 5, 10% if you have the guarantee. They show extraordinary results with trading like wealth generating. This is partly true, Asgar, because I remember Umar Ashraf putting a negative month of minus 1.4 million in Instagram. Now I ask you, if you have a negative month of 1.4 million, will you survive? Can you continue trading? Will you survive, Asgar? Because if the question is no, you don't have the leverage that they have. I can close a minus 1 million month and still be in the game. This is the point. Okay, I remember the story of Umar Ashraf. Okay, he put minus 1.4 million. Okay, so the question is, if you are willing, let's say Q1. Okay, it's all a numbers game. Okay, if you are doing, okay, 30, 40, $50,000 positive session, a negative session can be minus 10, minus 20. Yes, that's the point, no? They are going to the final take profit. Let's see the liquidity. And now they are not adding protective liquidity, as you can see. They put on the 29,010. And every time here, they go really close and they fill other order. This is what it's called institutional accumulation, okay? It's fractionalizing the order. And with L2 data, if you want, guys, I don't know if on the staging platform everything works, but we can also see if they put iceberg. We can see if they put iceberg. Let's put a 40 on the Nasdaq. I think we should have this one visible. Then you need to go on the source setting and put MBO, and now it will reload the data. Oh, they are reaching. Maybe we can try a mean reverting one. Guys, look at this. First of all, I wanted to show the liquidity. Is it visible, DeepDom? Because I have a double screen sharing. I don't know if you're watching Deep Charts or DeepDom. Chat pause. Okay. Now, can you see this arrow? This arrow here. Okay, these arrow here are iceberg. So it's when they want contract filled, okay, without anyone seeing. They filled here 300 contracts of one. Fill 300 contracts here on the short side. Probably they took out here this move. Julian and Umar know wealth building strategy. I think is huge weakness when they traded focus on day trading only. But where I said that I focus on day trading only, I gave you also. I don't know if you follow the other strategies, but I think it was for all the users because I didn't put any restrictions, so everyone could see it. I explain the crypto and the earning surprise strategy. You remember, guys? We show everything. Okay, so you have also the long-term model. What Julian Petrulas is doing is something really similar. Julian Petrulas trade the earnings. Trade the earnings. If you need to fractionalize the source of income that I have, you have a lot of money made from blockchain cycles, the strategy that I explained. This is wealth generation strategy. So this is models that go on without my time. Okay. So the fact that I bought Bitcoin in the minor cycle and I sold at 110 and 120 and took a leverage short, this is all stuff that I don't need to manage. Okay, it's there. The fact that now I think they are in a distribution phase and that will go back to 50,000. Okay, these are all positions that I can accumulate on the long term. Also the earning surprise, no? And I also agreed on sharing this strategy like here for free without asking anything. Asgar, you will never be judged here. Did you notice that I don't ban any comment? I accept everything. I accept everything. There are positive, there are negative comments. In the end, they tested. In the end, they tested the Nasdaq effort. Okay. Prop firm challenge, I think we will make, guys, immediately after the education with Freddy. Okay. But also, I want to understand something from the community, okay? Because I understand that there are more than 500 people, everyone with different necessity. And maybe the format that, from my point of view, add a lot of value are not appreciated, okay, by anyone. First question, are you happy and do you think it's adding value to the community the fact that we have another person that live trade like Freddy that was like managing 2 billions per day flow, or for you it's boring and it's a waste of time? Because I need to understand, for me it's incredibly valuable. Okay, to get the option flow education, I spend more than 50,000 with one professional and I'm really happy with it, and I'm bringing you at 50 times less for free as an addition. Okay, this is what I want to understand. This is really important. Okay. Okay, they reached the final take profit. They are playing with the liquidity levels here. Liquidity one below. Now also I am moving the capital on Monday. So you will see me trading only long term on Interactive because I find a better deal and better solution. And I was thinking, guys, that we could make also a quantitative validation, at least till the possible extent, for every model. Okay. And I'm going with it now that I have the necessity, okay, to fulfill the dream of the hedge fund. Okay. The first request that they make for the hedge fund is not, do you have a portfolio of strategy, okay, or do you have trading account? The first stuff they ask is that if you have a validation of the model, okay, so they want independent audit of every single model. So this is something that I will need to make from a quantitative perspective and from a discretionary perspective. So in the next year and a half, what you will find shared in this community also is the validation, okay, of a single model account. So I was used to use, for example, scalping, like you saw in Q1, IVB, earnings in one account, okay? Now, what I will make in the following years, and I hope I can finish all this validation in the next 12 months, is institutionally validating every model, okay, with an auditing from PwC, KPMG of each single account, because when you have an hedge fund, you need to also do consideration related to the maximum exposure, the value at risk, and consideration related to the liquidity necessity, okay? So, for example, you know that if I go in the institutional space, Nasdaq scalping is not the best approach. I will need to go on ES because it's more liquid, okay? This is all consideration that I never made as a retail trader, but I will need to make, okay? It's Luca Colucci, the quant trader, and he will be in the community also. Because we have members of the community like Niccolò, like Sachs, like Hayam, that are contributing and are always trying to help the community. And they ask something really smart. They ask, Fabio, can we have the probability of reaching the protection point? Okay, the probability of reaching the extended average. So what I'm going to make is to include Luca in the community. So when they have a request, they can go to Luke and say, look, Luke, can you automate this stuff and check the results? Yeah. No, for the personal account, I can continue Nasdaq, but for the fund, it's way more liquid, yes. And also, let me show you something here. Let me show you something. Let me go back because otherwise it takes a lot of resources. But I want to show you 1 second. Yes, you will understand immediately why. Now they need to load. I don't use this one on the... Okay. Guys, look at the liquidity of yes. Now, this is not to prove a point. It's just to explain to you why from the institutional proxy you have different necessity, okay? Look at this, okay? Look at this reload. Look at this one. And look at the final target liquidity level on yes. You see how much is clean? Okay. So the reason that you have so much liquidity on this asset, you have 10 times more contract, is the reason why the institutional proxy for this is the yes. Then let's also go one step above, okay? If we want to make two accounts and we want to make the account for the guy, I don't remember the name, Martin, we want to make the quant account, IVB and Nasdaq effort that we are slowly building and is the smaller account. And we want to go on the big account scalping more aggressively like Q1, and we put a disclaimer, guys, this is only for professionals. So expect that you have higher negative session, but higher positive session. We can do it. Okay. Not a problem at all. Yeah, guys, on this one, we can make it. I don't want to weak approach in trading and working on long-term strategy, including this is what we will include also. This is what we will include, the COT. No, guys, I didn't invited Mohammed on the live streaming because Niccolò, a member of the community, texted me and said, Fabio, I don't like the payout, and he makes some checks that I didn't have the time to check, but he said there is something suspicious. Okay, I don't know if it's the amount. I don't know if it's the prop, that it's a scammy prop. I don't know. Ask Nicolò. I don't know the situation there. Nicolò, sorry, it's Nicolas. I confused because one of my friends is Nicolò. We can make a yes effort, yes. We can make a yes effort. You can go mean reverting usually when the market didn't break. I don't know if you remember, guys. How many people we have from Q1? Text you in chat. You remember that in Q1 I gave you also some session where we were doing the opening, so the 9:30 US time, scalping only the Nasdaq effort. This was the mean reverting. Okay, so we were going to take the volatility of the beginning, taking mean reverting position. Okay, and then I was doing an analysis of what's the best for the community, and the best for the community that it's intermediate to advanced is to have a bias system, an execution system that they can replicate, that it's validated, that is tested on multi-charts, that you have the probability on your favor, and we stack options on top. Then, to the trader that wants to get more depth without tools but reading discretionary flow, okay, I did and will continue to do in this quarter more aggressive scalping with the deep trades. Okay, today the deep trades were not so active. They stopped. But for example, for the people in Q1, they very well know that this one, what is this one, guys? Exactly. Malik, I've been trying to ask him for the last 15 minutes. I just want to know why I no longer emphasize low volume the big trades. I emphasize the big trades, but I emphasize the big trades when you have a direction. Okay, when you have a bias system on the IVB, because I noticed that a beginner have more results starting with a system that put them in their direction. Why? Because we humans are not designed to have an overload of information. Okay, if you start in trading and you need to identify the direction by yourself, you need to identify the area by yourself, you need to identify the trigger by yourself, you know what will happen. And I know a lot of people, now be honest, people from Q1, how many of you saw the live? Amazing, we did $30,000. Then when they were alone, they are, fuck, how will Fabio read here? I'm confused. I don't understand. Beautiful. The session was beautiful. But when I am alone, okay, I don't know what to do. That's the reason I put, that's the reason I put them in the environment of stepping up their game. Okay. For example, for Abiel never, but look for how many person there is this problem. Okay. Now, in this group, when there is IVB, broke long, we are above the zero gamma. So the options are on our side and we start stacking the Nasdaq effort. Okay. How many person go short? I think it was enough the week that pushed 5 candles up aggressively and people were continuing to short for rebalance and they understood that they don't go again, okay, against the bias. Really important. I wrote an algorithm for Nasdaq that is profitable over the year. It depends if it beats the buy and hold. It beats the buy and hold. So for the guy that was asking about the profile, okay, of course we have one sharing screen, okay. I cannot share 4 monitor. It's impossible in WOP and you will see everything small, no? Anyway, the bias was perfect. Bias was perfect. look at this level on the ES 1600 contract. Wait 1 second, that I'm curious about one stuff. Now we go on the profile, okay? There is bot on Nasdaq, and yes, this resting liquidity level that is really suspicious, because they put this one before the live session. This is why their liquidity is useful, no? Look, before the opening, resting liquidity above, put here, taken, resting liquidity below, taken, and now above they didn't put anything, okay? Anything new. They are lowering the liquidity, as you can see. But here there is this monster, and this is, I think it's really close to the extended average level. Yeah, okay. Anyway, let me explain the profile for people that were asking, okay? So we have an opening here. We have an opening, and we have the first 30 minutes that setups like this. This was the first 30 minutes, okay? So you set the bottom here and you set the top here. In this case, what you have is the market going to rebalance. I don't know if it's visible for everyone in the chat, the value area I. Is it visible for everyone? So everything that we learn, okay, in every live, it's always a step above to understand. And you can use, it's not, Fabio, why you use the Nasdaq effort, why you are watching. I have everything in front, okay? I have the order track on the right, I have the profile on the left, I have in the main chart this, the chat with you, the option flow, okay? This one here was the moment, if you remember, where I explained the short. Okay, we were live and I explained this one. This was the position that I got unfilled. Do you remember, guys, one in chat? This one here that we are watching here, this fight, was the cage that we had with the Nasdaq effort. Okay, but even before the Nasdaq effort, with the absorption, you can build clues. Okay, and this is really important. And the masterclass about today is about building for all beginners. Now I ask again, okay, let's make a poll. Do you want me to go really deep in how I read the market in an advanced side without indicators? So if you want to be a discretionary scalper, how you can get to my level, like I did in the podcast, like I did in the CME Group World Trading Cup and all the cups, okay? This is the masterclass of today that I prepared, okay? But you need to go out of the fixed boundaries, okay? Disclaimer, let's put like Arsenal, not for beginners, okay? If you are beginning, everything that we treat today, it's for you, okay? I hope this one where I got unfilled is someone that created the joy of someone else, okay? Because this one was, I don't even know how much risk to reward, okay? And for the guy, no? Before it was all 1 to 10, 1 to 15, 1 to 20. Today we had the opportunity of 1 to 15, 1 to 20, 1 to 30, okay? But I'm not here with this one ready, always set, clicking. I'm managing a chat, I'm explaining, okay? I'm trying to give value, not to make money. This is my small account, to let you understand. Now, going on, we can take the time to go on the masterclass, okay? We can remove everything here related to the heat map, and we can zoom here. Now, let's start from the measurement of the forces of the market, okay? The measurement of the forces of the market can be done in multiple environments. And from a discretionary side, the summary that I make for you today, it's really clear, okay? The first part, okay, is the result of the auction in real time. No, but price is useless, you cannot use it. Guys, the price, the closing of the actual price is the accepted value of now. Okay? Is it clear this for everyone? okay? So we have here the accepted value that is how the candle closed now, and is not useless, guys. And this is how I trade with big trades, okay? Candle green closing here, the players accepted a value now on this price level, okay? After this point, okay, that reply to this question, you have where is the effort coming from, okay? Because you need to understand, and I give you some example, okay? Let's make, for example, a candle that close green. Okay, let's make it green to make it easier. With a wick down, with a big trade on the bottom side. Okay. Can you explain to me, in this case, if there is one side of the market that put effort but didn't got rewarded? The effort, guys, here came from the sellers. Okay, so if you have an effort seller and you have result buyers, this one was what we were using in Q1 that is more discretional to say, okay, the market is telling me here that these sellers, okay, encountered a passive wall, okay? So they got absorbed completely. The buyers with less effort, because the effort from the big trades is from the sell side, okay, did a lot of result. What does it mean? It means that the probability in this point in time, in this candle, reading the auction candle by candle, and you find this in the neural pattern recognition, is telling me that if I engage here, or if I want to refine the area, if I engage in the big trade here, let me also put it on the right. Okay. The probability of doing something like this, it's higher than doing something like this. One in chat, if it's not complicated, because we are building step by step, okay? We go from point 1 to point 2. And remember, guys, okay, I'm always here for everyone that wants to, Fabio, can we cover this strategy? Can we cover this strategy? So if you want, okay, for the third month, for example, to do scalping using a more aggressive model, candle by candle, okay, it's not a problem. We can do it. But I need to merge the necessity of all the people, of starters that cannot go on huge risk to rewards, people that are advanced, of everyone. Okay, perfect. Now, just by merging these 2 points of information, so merging the buyers, okay, sorry, the result and the effort, you have a matrix. This matrix is called VSA, volume spread analysis. Don't get scared, it's nothing complicated, okay? Volume spread analysis means the difference between volume and the actual output or analysis of the outcome, okay? Let me give you an example. You have aggressive sellers in this candle, maybe you have a negative delta here, but you have a positive results. What does it mean? Delta divergence, the volume spread analysis is calling out for absorption. Now, scalping doesn't mean taking high risk to reward. Scalping means taking advantage of every single movement of the market. Okay, so if I have a candle that gives me this confirmation here, okay, with a wall here, a fixed profile, a high delta, this trade, it's a trade that a scalper will engage. An intraday trader will not engage, okay? The fact, and the only reason we were making huge risk to reward, or in the live that I put on YouTube, okay, I was making 1 to 5, 1 to 10, 1 to 15, is when you align, okay, the direction of the day, IVB, the area Nasdaq effort, okay, and you align also the confirmation of a single candle, okay. Fabio, can I do just scalping by using this? Yes, you can do it. But while the IVB plus Nasdaq effort can bring you to point A to point B, the learning curve of completely discretionary trading is steeper. Okay, this doesn't mean that we will not treat it and we will not do it. We will do everything. Let's go on. Let's add another layer to this. Okay, another layer that we can have here is the actual regime of the market. Okay, what do you know about regime of the market, guys? What is the regime of the market? How can you summarize the concept of the regime? The regime, guys, it's Nicolas, I promise you that I will make it, okay? If for you it's valuable, okay, but I will not publish on YouTube. I will give only for this community, okay? If for you it's valuable going hardcore one session where I stay in my state of flow, I put my headphone, I scalp my big account, okay? And on the big account, we can have 6-figure session, okay? But I stay silent. I don't need to manage the chat. I do it and I upload it. If you can get value from this, I will upload it, okay? Even more than one. Let's do it, okay? So the regime of the market, guys, is something that have a lot to do about the nature of the movement. About what, Danny? I'm so smart. I'm trying to give people the value, no? What they are asking. I can add commentary later, but it's really difficult to explain what you do while you manage because one position can take also 20, 30 seconds, specifically if you want this kind of content during the opening. Okay. Okay, I will add. It's not a problem. Then the regime. You can have two main regime, okay? You can have the compression regime, and you cannot see this from the single candle. You can have the compression regime where you are in the range of the opening, and you can have the expansion regime. If you use even a single candle, but trend following regime in the wrong environment, you take stop loss. Okay? You take stop loss. If you go trend following, okay, mean reverting, sorry, when you are in an expansion regime, it happens like the fact that, like we saw, it was 2 weeks ago that Nasdaq only went long for 5 sessions straight. I don't remember. 2 weeks ago it was, okay? When you get in this regime on the long term and you try to go mean reverting, you can destroy 20% of your account. Okay? You can really destroy 20% of your account. See, a lot of people Asgard suffer from it. Okay. Now the regime is crucial because you need to understand how to deal with it. I remember still the Q1. No, I don't know how many of you were here. That we started one session and we went in drawdown -5, -6, -7,000. No, the market was really compressing. It touched the bottom here. Okay. And we went, okay, for a big risk to reward from the bottom to the top with one single candle. And the market did all the movement. I don't know how many of you remember, with one single candle. Okay. This logic here needs to be paired with the regime. When you are trend following, okay, you can do this kind of trade. When you are mean reverting, and this is what I'm trying to explain to the guy, you cannot go for huge risk to reward, okay? Because 8 session out of 10 will get mean reverting in the balance, okay? Today, for example, that was an expansion day, okay? We had the opportunity to take more than 1 to 10, okay? The short now, how much? Wow. Wow, guys, they are going to the level. They are going exactly to the level. This is also the level of the ES, maximum point of the ES. Nasdaq Effort Zone Masterclass today. Yeah, today was really beautiful. Wait 1 second. I want to see the level of yes. 1 second, guys. Now we go back to the masterclass. No, on ES, the 1,600 they cancelled. You see what they did here? This is pure manipulation, guys. This is pure manipulation. Like this one here, there were 1,600 contracts that got cancelled. Okay. Now we could also try to see which order ID, but probably it's multiple players manipulating the market. This one is illegal. Okay? You cannot do this because you give the perception of the market that this player wants to get filled there. Next level is the 7,350. Okay. Perfect. Now, other than this, we can use the zero gamma regime. So let's say that you are scalping, okay? This is your zero gamma level from the classic. And this is like, how can I say, the levels that the sellers protect, okay, to get back in the negative, okay. And when you slice through, your regime change. Let's say the audio is choppy. I'm using a pretty good microphone. Are you sure it's my problem? It's not choppy. Audio is good. Okay. So when you switch environment and you go in positive, okay, you go above the zero gamma, you want to sniper in terms of taking execution, not in doing huge risk to reward. Long. Okay. So you want to take the market up. So in the discretionary side, you don't have a level IVB that is a static level, but you have dynamic information that are constantly getting updated. Let's say, for example, this is important for Nicolas that asked me, Fabio, can you give us a system that gives us the bias faster? One example is zero gamma. Okay, one example is zero gamma. So you are in domination of the seller here, in domination of the buyers here. And more than this, you can add the regime. I'm sure Sachs will make an amazing PDF here. Why this one is important? Now you have an aha moment, okay? Let's say that this is the buy box. So you have this. Okay? You want to scalp. So you want to see the single candle information. You don't want the Nasdaq effort. You want to learn to scalp raw. It will take more time. You want to scalp raw. Perfect. Regime of the market here, we are above the zero gamma level, okay? And we are maybe compressing here, okay? We are compressing. So we are in regime, in a compression regime, like we were watching before with Nasdaq effort. When the market breaks, we get in a directional environment in line with the zero gamma. So everything that we used to scalp here from a discretionary, so you see, let me give you multiple examples. You see a big trades on the bottom completely absorbed, or you see one candle dominated by the buyers, full of big trades, and you want to take the squeeze, protecting yourself below this candle here. How many times you saw me doing this in Q1? Okay. Examples. You can use everything discretionary, okay, in line with the bias. And the logic, okay, the logic that you use here is not a static level, it's more dynamic. Now, for beginners, processing the option flow, the execution on the shorter time frame, and the regime, it's a lot. It's a lot. It can be possible. I don't think in a quarter, I think in 6-9 months it can be possible, but we can treat it, okay? We can cover it. Exactly, Yasir. Exactly. And this is also what we did in Q1. Okay. This is also what we did in Q1. But it's not either this or that. It's giving the multiple approach, okay, so that you don't have only one side of me. For example, I was thinking about this the other day, no? And I was thinking that I made multiple millions, okay, with crypto and investing. So if you are buying my education, no, you are buying my process as a trader, right? If you are buying my process as a trader and I don't explain you how I manage the wealth long term or how I scalp crypto or how I use earnings, you are not getting from me the full understanding of the market. You are getting one model, okay, that is discretionary. That's the reason I started to give you a 100% view on everything that we have, thinking that this one will be even more appreciated. Okay. No, Yasir, nothing that is in this community is free on YouTube. Not the order track confirmation, not the way I trade with the Nasdaq effort, not the way we manage position. The option flow is not on YouTube. The confirmation from the zero gamma, that nothing that is here is on YouTube, if not the IBB. Okay. Perfect, guys. Now, how can we add a final step to this? Okay. We can add a final step to this comparing, if we are, for example, here, other than the big trades, the effort, no? So we can compare here the effort of the candle with the result of the candle. So let's take this box. You want a checklist. The mental, even if it's not quantitative, even if it's discretionary, okay? But you see, for example, Jason, are you into stocks? This makes me think that you don't even watch the video, guys. Okay. Now let's go for us checklist, okay? Identify gamma regime. On this one, Freddy will go over. I will give you my process, but Freddy will help on this. You know what I can do? I was thinking about this. I can create a section directly connected to the study that I have that show you the current gamma regime. So you don't need to pay other stuff. I could do this. I could do this. And second step is the regime of the market. Fabio, will we do live charting also on Thursday? On Thursday, guys, we have the masterclass of Freddy. So we will do live charting with me and him. So we will watch, we will explain the AAA++. So when you have the directional line, the delta line, and the options aligned, guys, you have to see how the market react on these levels. Really, you have to see. You have to see. And of course, I will more than happy, while he explains stuff, to say in the chat, guys, there is a buy opportunity here or sell opportunity here. But please, if the goal of being here is not to build a community where you can grow, where you can contribute, and where you can learn, but you enter in the live hoping that you can take the signals and take some payout from the prop firm, really, this is not the approach, bro. This is not the reason I created this community. And if I see this mindset getting, okay, taking this as a slot machine or a casino that you are immediate to click without even understanding what you are doing. Really, this is not the goal, guys. Okay. Yeah. We are implementing in the group directly the one from Saks. Okay. So the regime of the market. So let's say, let me give you an example. Checklist, gamma regime long. Okay. Regime of the market, trend following. We broke out of a balance area. Okay. Absorption on the bottom of the candle here. Okay. Then we get a trade. Okay, so you have the regime, you have you have the gamma pressure, you have the regime of the market, you have the trigger. You can use a lot of triggers here. Okay, for example, let me go on this one. Okay, let me remove this one here. Let's say that the gamma regime is short. Today, the best opportunity that I see from the deep trades is this one. And this is exactly the one that we took together. Okay, no, it's not only this one. There are two. Because you break the IVB here, this one is the best. Why is the best? Because you have an absorption on the top of buyers in a sensitive area above value. So when you want to measure something, you measure something with the profile. We were here premium. This was expensive. They absorb. This means that the sellers are protecting, so they want to go down. Okay, this is an example. Then today, for the deep trades, you didn't have a lot of opportunities because I don't see any other absorption. On the top, here it's empty, here it's empty, here it's empty. Not even candle full of aggression. Maybe one thing that we were using, I don't know how many of you remember this, but the speed and the aggression of the market used together can give a lot of satisfaction. So if you use the speed of tape, okay, if you use the speed of tape here, you can see that when you have a candle with aggression in the body, that we don't have, this is in the wick. Okay, let me show you if we have aggression in the body. Here it is, for example, this one. This one show aggression in the body and speed, okay? So what does it mean? That this level here, these big trades here, is supposed, okay, to give rejection. So the sellers here were not only convinced about direction, but were convinced also about protecting the level, no? And as you can see, the market gets here and then it's reverts. But this one here, what you want to see here is that when you do hyper scalping like we were doing, the moment you see this rejection, you are risk-free. So you are taking the single movement here. Now the big trades are really low on this one. But let's say, for example, that you spike up and you do a lot of aggressive buy trapped in the wick and the candle close sell. This is an example of what we were using. Okay? Deep Dome Bootcamp will not collide with our schedule, guys. No, because I already explained the liquidity masterclass here, okay? So I promise you something when we started. I promise you that I will give you the most transparent idea of this profession, explaining you multiple models, explaining you the good days and the bad days. And at the same time, I promise to you that you will not need to pay education from me because you have everything here. Okay, and this is what we are doing here. So on the liquidity side, you have also live session with liquidity heat map that I'm not doing on Deep Dome, for example. Okay, and on Q3, guys, on Q3, I need to understand if we take a break. Okay, I need to understand if we take a break, not because I don't think that there will not be a lot of opportunities during the summer, but because I think that I need to restructure completely the program from a communication perspective for the person, because I see that 90% of people have the correct expectation, but here arrives some person that really want to get, like, their goal is to get rich fast. Okay. So I would like to take some months to restructure the product and to make it even better, but we will decide this together. Okay. Do we lose access to the community when we can't afford Q3? No. For example, the person in Q1, no, they are continuing to have the access to the section. They are not having access to the new content. Okay. So if we explain new strategy or to the live, but the goal of how this is structured is the following: till you respect the other users, okay, till you don't try to do some kind of scam selling, pretending that is me. There was one guy selling like a cracked version of the platform, another guy selling signals, okay, another guy selling access to the community with multiple. Okay, this stuff happens in every community. In this case, I ban these people, okay, of course, and they take legal action. But if you are not doing anything like this, you will not be removed from the community. You will be there, okay, and even if you can not join Q3, you will continue to join the update that I put also for Q1 and Q2. Okay, it's a long term community. Exactly, Alex. Exactly, Alex. Okay. Also, because I will not restrict the access to the live event. Okay. Now I'm trying to organize with Tom Hogard a live event in Switzerland or in Abu Dhabi in September, October, and I would like to have all the members of the quarter. So if one person joined Q1, no, that was the hardcore one. Q1 was more if you think about Q1, no, I receive a lot of requests by people that wanted to see me trade live. I did it, okay, but it was not as structured as now. We didn't have all this education material. We didn't have all this stuff. It was raw, no? So these were like the early adopters, and I will not kick them out, of course. Okay, I will make for that. I will also give them the possibility to join the live event of September if we do physical. Yeah. I mean, dividend approach, no. Like I don't have a dividend portfolio. But usually the people that are complaining are the loudest one. I would like to ask you, um, also today we did 2 hours now. I would like to ask you an opinion while we wait for Freddy on Thursday, and I can guarantee you guys that what we are going to learn with Fred is something that you don't learn online. Okay. Like having the possibility for me to bring one person that was really dealing 2 billions per day is something that I will never think will be possible in the retail world. Okay. These people are behind a really high price ticket, and usually they don't do education. Okay. And they don't do live trading like we are going to do on Thursday. Okay. And on the next session. So this one for me, it's already the goal that I wanted to reach. Now, as you know, the long-term goal for me is the hedge fund. Okay, so it's possible that we do 12 months of Lotso and Scalp. Okay, and then we don't continue. But I would like to really hear the feedback. Okay, and please don't hold yourself. If you are unhappy with the community, say it. What's the feedback that you are having with the quality of education, the live, the format for the amount that you paid? Really curious about it. I'm really happy with it, guys. Really happy with it. Really happy with it. Nice. Nice. You shared your feedback, Yazir, and I accepted it. Accept every feedback. You can also text me privately. Okay. And now I was talking, I lost it, okay? But for example, now we are in negative regime, no? And we are below, and we had a big trade in the body, okay? This one, for example, a quick scalp for a 1-to-1, 1-to-2, because you have a sensitive level here, would have been something that we would have traded in Q1, okay? This one here. The kind of trades also to let Yazir understand that we were taking in Q1 were reload on the big trades, stop above the candle. We were doing all trade like this. Not always huge risk to reward, okay? When the market was exploding, yes, but usually they were 1-to-1, 1-to-1.5, 1-to-2, 1-to-3, something like this, okay? How come you changed the style, bro? I didn't change the style. I explain all the models that I trade, specifically the one that are for beginners. Completely changed my trading. Been following you since the first chart fanatic. Now I'm here. I took a check the volume profile. I took a short, beautiful reaction zone. Let's see. Let me remove this one. From where? But it's pretty balanced now, eh? It's pretty balanced. You took this short, right? I think yes. Now, for example, now we are in a negative regime, okay, negative gamma regime, but we are in a balance area. Okay, this is what we were doing also in Q1. We were going to take the swing discretionally and wait for the market to get out of the balance area and get aggressive on the short side. Went from ICT and smart money to this. No words can describe. Thank you, guys. Yeah, Vic, that's exactly what was asking also Nick to do some recording of when I scalp, for example, in the big account aggressively, or also for the prop space, because it's impossible to do everything in 2 times per week. And I will do it. I will do it. Huh? Ghost, after 2 months with you from unprofitable to profitable. But you know also what I think it's important to understand, no? I'm the first one that says that the model is more important than psychology, no? But what I would love to makes you think about is the fact that when you are in live, okay, and your urge is not to understand the process, but to take more trade, as much trade as possible, what does it say about the trading style that you have? Because I was like this before, okay? I was like this before, and I was unable to close the session in loss. You know what this means? This means that if you start the session negative, you continue till some days you have a really big loss. Okay? And this approach here also will be non-educational. Like basing the live to do as much trade as possible, not to take the highest probability opportunity, will be the opposite. Fabio, help him please with the psychological part. It fucked me up. I can't trade. I can fully understand. Play a bad game. But this is like I prefer message like this where I know where to help. I can help on this. I cannot help on the necessity to execute. Okay. Also, guys, on this is coming an amazing video on risk management that I decided, the risk management video I decided to put on YouTube because there are a lot of people that are fucked up. There are really these one are people that are way above the average IQ level in this group, okay? And you can see because they know what they are talking about. That's the reason I accept every feedback. But you can see people like asking stuff like, but Fabio, how much is your personal account? 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, how much is it? And you say, it's a question that I don't like, but okay, it's multiple millions. Okay, so making the comparison, 500% per year that you did in the World Trading Cup, so at the end of the year, you have 10 millions. And these guys are like, what the fuck there is in your head? What the fuck there is in your mind? Like, they don't understand, and this is the reason I made explaining the video in details of the fact that in the World Trading Cup, you need the regime identification account, you need snowball effect to pull the risk, and you take a risk that is 10 times higher than the personal. And sometimes I think, well, maybe like the beautiful stuff about it is that when I scalp aggressively, I make it seem so easy that they think that I can make 500% every year, also on a personal account. Okay, this is amazing. Now, guys, for me, it's coming the hardest challenge of my life. I need to audit every single model. You know what does it mean? I need to manage multiple accounts, bringing them to an auditor. No one in the trading industry did it. Okay, to audit multiple models and then to go in the professional space, to go to present myself to investor and get some fucking billions to manage. This is my goal of life. It can take 2 years, it can take 3 years, but I will do it. So enjoy the education till it's here. I will try at least to finish 12 months of Blood, Sweat and Scalps. And I hope, guys, as always, that you enjoy these 2 hours together, that you will help me in the process also. Because, for example, I already saw one guy that is trading the prop firm model, and he's helping to improve it. Okay. So the step of institutional validation, we can go over it, but it's testing the strategy, okay, from a quantitative perspective to identify the edge, and then if you want, add discretionality. But in the hedge fund, guys, and this is the reason also I'm trying to help you, because in the hedge fund approach and the institutional approach, the discretionality is not appreciated, okay? This is the difference between retail trader and institutional trader. The more you go from the private account to managing a firm, the more you notice that the quant approach and the automated execution, okay, is the benchmark. They need a system, they need to measure, they need to approach like this, okay? And also in the in the future necessity to manage capital, so if your goal is to manage capital, you should have a system, okay, that you can replicate, that takes always the consistent setup. And this was the only weak point of discretionary scalping. That's the reason I added rules, and I build on top of these rules. Do we have bias long on the profile framing? I don't know. I didn't check the profile framing. I think today can switch short the cash. Of course, Amires. Okay. Of course, Amires, we will do it. Thank you guys for everything. Have a good day. Have a good trading session. Today you did way better than me. I gave you amazing sniper. But what is this can? Look at this aggression. The amazing sniper, we took the top of the session, but I didn't manage to get filled on this one. Bye, guys. See you on the next one.